Hello everyone, and what is going on? Hyperion-Blue-GT here. May 2025 update on Gran Turismo 7 is here, folks. 4 cars, new events, 1 compatible for Gran Turismo Soapy on PS5 version, and this is going to be quite very interesting. And we got the 5th generation Corvette, Ferrari A12 Superfast, Honda CR-V, and the Suzuki Carry is about to go for the showcase to be get down on the notice. So 4 of them are about to be available to be sold in Brand Central, and especially for the Chevy Corvette Z06 C5 2001 to be using on both of them on Brand Central and used car dealership. And that brings out to have 1 race courses for the compatible on Circuit de Barcelona Catalonia Grand Prix layout, World Circuits by having 3 new events in American Clubman Cup 700 at Autodromo de Interlagos, Lightweight K Cup at Archer Norwood, Ferrari Circuit Challenge at De Forest Raceway. There's also to have new set of conversation for the characters appearing in the cab bay. These new conversation can be accessed by changing to the following cars in garage and speaking with the characters in cab bay. The characters like Chris interacting and explain about the details on Mercedes-Benz Unimog Type 411 1962, Jeremy for the Chevy Corvette Z06 C5 2001, Suzuki B6 Escudo Pikes Peak Special 1998, Toyota C-HRS 2018, Ford Stella, the Honda Civic Si Extra EF model 1987 along with the Pescia 205 GTI 1988, and plus there's some new museums to be entry to be adding up on Afila and Mercedes-Benz. Now, we got 10 vehicles will receive to have a swap engine will get a good hands-on opportunity. First up is the Fiat 500F 1968 will get the Honda 2.4 engine. Second, the Jaguar F-Type Coupe 2014 will also get the XJR-9 engine. Third, on the Nissan Fairlane C is now going to be received to have an R34 Skyline engine. 3 of the kind Porsche vehicle will get the 911 GT3 RS Type 992 engine on the 911 Carrera RS Club Sport Type 993 1995, and both of them on the Porsche Cayman GT4 Road Car and Club Sport counterpart 2016 will be joined in to have the same type as well. But there's going to be having some interesting changes on the Radical SR3 SL 2013 and Suzuki B6 Escudo Pikes Peak Special 1998 will also to have a Vision GT Group 3 engine will be put up and have a different stats of performance just like the original. And then there's going to be having 1 opportunity for the Toyota GR86 RC will get a 911 GT3 RS Type 992 engine. And last but not least, the Challenger Demon engine will go directly to the Toyota Tundra TRD Pro 2019. But there might be some new background selection to go adding up on Scape. Shooting the perfect square has now been added as feature curation. Other improvements and adjustments on Trustmaster T-GT and T598. Improved encoder dial response for the following steering controllers is now perfectly to be Other improvements and adjustments on steering controllers that improve encoder dial response for the following steering controllers on the Trustmaster T-GT and T598. There's going to be having some changes on Legend cars sponsored by Haggerty Collection. Prices have been revised based on real-life valuation from the Gran Turismo partner Haggerty. Haggerty provides valuations and vehicle insurance for classic cars and has sponsored some historic car events in recent years. New prices will be applied the next time when the vehicle goes on sale. The next price revision is scheduled for September 2025. Other localization and others are about to be fixed. Various text localization issues and other issues have been addressed. So, no sign of brand new car collection, so we had to be expect to be on the lookout until all had to be shared by next month by the update in June 2025. But even perhaps, let's go stop by at Brand Central and registered purchase 4 cars will be added to the index. Let's stop by at Chevrolet, and I'm so very happy about the 5th generation Corvette is about to go for one last piece by becoming the ultimate Corvette collection. So here it is, guys. Beautiful and exactly to becoming as a 2001 model that replaces by the 2000 and 2004 counterparts from Gran Turismo 5 and Gran Turismo 6. But it actually does to have a 562.97 performance point that comes in of a displacement in 5,665cc, drivetrain in the FR layout, 384 horsepower / 6,000 RPM, 385.5 foot lb / 5,000 RPM. Aspiration type is naturally aspirated. The car price is now perfectly to be stationed in 65,000 GT credits. It comes in to have 5 colors available except the Le Mans Blue. First up is Speedway White, Quicksilver Metallic, Black, Millennium Yellow, a very good icon for the 5th generation Corvette, and Torch Red. Maybe I'll have to pick the Millennium Yellow and learn more of the details, and that is a good kind of a most legendary Corvette of all time after the 4th generation for the 1990s and successor to becoming as a processor to the 6th generation Corvette. Ask someone to name the greatest American sports car, and chances are the answer will be the Corvette. The model before you is the 5th generation, iteration known as the C5, a modern marvel of sports car engineering. This particular version provides a story name, Z06, a nod to the 2nd generation Corvette's renowned race package. At its heart lies the LS6 engine, a compact yet formidable 384.6 horsepower V8 delivered from the legendary LS1. Naturally, the chassis has been refined, complemented by competition-grade suspension and brakes. A close relative of the C5-R race car, this Corvette masterfully blends heritage with high-performance capability. Sweet, beautiful, and much more true masterpiece on this Corvette is everybody's most favorite iconic sports car of all time. But you know, the 5th generation Corvette is becoming a GOAT. Greatest moment of all time, just like all the previous generation models from 1950s to 2000s of this day. But clearly, I kind of like about this Corvette is quite beautiful and style is well embraced to be entered to have a new heights of a brand new millennium. But it's already been passed by 2 decades later, and this one is a good kind of a sports car that features to have a good eye interest with some customization parts with or without a wide body. But count me in, and as a Corvette fan, this will be adding up to have the first one will be adding up onto the index. But boy, this is going to be quite truthful, and will car to be popped out on the headlights will get 65 points. So I'll have to try this out later on and go to your obsession to have a good eyes on Ferrari. This is going to be so impressive, beautiful, and best hypercar is the yet to build. Just have to go to the showroom and take a good look on the car price. The 812 Superfast 2017 has now landed to Gran Turismo 7 from Forza Motorsport, Horizon, the Crew 2, Motorfest, and Assetto Corsa. Brilliant to have a good displacement in 6,496cc. Drivetrain layout is a front engine, and the FR is quite good to be style, elegant, and embrace it to give a good Grand Touring hypercar that produces in 788 horsepower / 8,500 RPM, max torque 530.2 foot lb / 7,000 RPM, weight 3,362 pounds. Aspiration type is always naturally aspirated. Much more beautiful, impressive, and good kind of a V12 engine that brings out to have the same 26 color selection just like the 458 Italia 2009 and FA Tributo 2019. But you know the guess of the color name in Italian, so I'll have to get down to have a good showcase with some color selection to be available when you're visiting to Brand Central. got to admit, I still really enjoyed about having an 812 Superfast from the Crew 2 as a hypercar discipline, and that brings out to give a good style, performance, and elegance as a true successor to the F12 Berlin Enta. Got to learn more of the detail, and the 812 Superfast is quite impressive to give a good style of a hypercar. Ferrari's front-mounted B12 models pay a tribute to a tradition as enduring as the market itself. Building on the legacy of icons like the 250 series, the Daytona, and the Maranello, the 812 Superfast made its debut in 2017. While its design echoes classic Ferrari elegance, its aerodynamic form is crudely modern. The B12 engine has been enlarged to 6.5 liters, producing 800 horsepower, hence the car's numerical designation. With a generous 107.1 inches wheelbase typical of Gran Turismos, the 812 Superfast also offers practical trunk space behind the seats. And thanks to its front-wheel steering system, this car has remarkably agile handling, making it shine on winding roads. Just like that, and very good capable to be dealing on winding roads for the 812 Superfast is good embrace style and echoes its tradition to be bring out to have a good spirit of a Gran Turismo, just like the B12 Berlin Enta. But count me in, and car number 2 will be added to the index and purchased to be received to get a 550,000 GT credit in case you might have to go entered on WTC 600, 700, or 800 events. 550 collector points to be collected, and going up by over 800,000 points added by 9,651 points. Just like when you're playing on Forza Horizon 5, the Crew 2, Motorfest, Assetto Corsa, and other racing games to be featured for the 812 Superfast. That's car number 2 to be added, and let's go to Asia Pacific to have a good look on Suzuki Carry 2012. Well, I never see a K-car semi-truck before, but this is going to be interesting. But the good news is, the car price is well placed up to be in 7,600 credits that has a displacement in 658cc. Drivetrain layout is a front engine in the F-bar that produces in 47 horsepower / 5,500 RPM. Max torque is 45.6 foot lb / 4,000 RPM. The weight is 1,565 pounds. Aspiration type is naturally aspirated. And for the performance point is 233.26, which is quite suitable and much more interesting to have a feature with customization options before bringing this Carry KC 2012 to GT Auto. But there are 2 colors available, like the Superior White and Silky Silver Metallic. But I kinda like it. Just only have 2 types of colors in silver and white. But Silky Silver Metallic, and let's see to learn more details. Japan's K-cars are a unique category of ultra-compact vehicles that deliver surprising capability with a modest footprint. This class spans everything from SUVs to nimble sports car, even including K-trucks like the Suzuki Carry. Although the series dates back more than 6 decades, the model here is from 2012, from the 10th generation introduced in 1999. Measuring just 11.2 foot-meters in length, is surprisingly capable, and its 658cc engine delivers ample torque even under load. Today, used carries are finding homes far beyond Japan's borders, a sign of growing global appreciation of the K-car's appeal. Now this is a very good interesting to have a K truck is quite good to be interesting to be entered on the track for the Wheel of GT. Well, maybe perhaps I'm down for it, and I'll have to be at the third one to be registered to the car index before visiting to Honda to have one more vehicle to have a good eyes check on the Honda CR-V. So 7 collector points is just might need to go for less in case you guys might have to go visiting to have Brand Central if you're becoming as a first time Gran Turismo player, or a nostalgia if you're about to go in long play. I'll have to put this later on in card test number 3 and proceed to have a selection to go for another crossover SUV on Honda, just like the Mazda CX-30 X Smart Edition 2021. And also yet, this kind of a model is the HEB EX Black Edition 2021. Naturally aspirated, and you know what it is because without having a gear transmission, this CRV is now becoming as a hybrid that features of a displacement in 1993cc. Drivetrain is an all-wheel drive that produces in 181 horsepower, max torque 232.4 lv, and has a weight in 3,748 pounds. Performance point is 381.02 that has a car price in 46,000 GT credits. But there are 2 colors available, includes with a crystal black pearl and platinum white pearl. This could be a quick decision. Gonna have to go with platinum white pearl or crystal black pearl. But even perhaps platinum white pearl it is, and learn more the detail about a good kind of a crossover SUV on the CRV HEB X Black Edition 2021. Everyone appreciates a sport utility vehicle that combines commanding visibility with dependable off-road capability. Enter the Honda CR-V, which was introduced in 1995. Featured here is the 5th generation model launched in 2016. Measuring 15.1 foot in length and 6.1 foot wide, it shares underpinnings with the 10th generation Civic. Notably, this was the first CR-V to offer a hybrid powertrain, delivering impressive fuel efficiency even at highway speeds. Spacious and comfortable, particularly in the back, it provides more than 1,100 liters of cargo space with the rear seats folded. Equipped with an advanced driving assist tailored to modern needs, the 5th generation CR-V is a car for town and country. Nice, very sweet and good kind of a crossover SUV to be featured to be set in drive mode. Special thanks to the hybrid drivetrain layout to go converted into an all-wheel drive. But it has quite very impressive to see the CR-V to go driving in off-road terrains if you're about to be taking onto the course to be in Sardinia Windmills, Fisherman's Ranch, and also yet Colorado Springs in lake position to see how it goes for all-wheel drive to be taking on for a special event. But I'm down for it, and that brings out to have one customization surprise to bring the CR-V SUV to go visit to the GT Auto. So that's card number 4 to be checked and registered by adding up with 46 collector points is all done. Okay, so one more thing perhaps. Almost forgot one visiting stop by at the used car dealership to be said to be labeled on hot price because tomorrow's weekly challenges to go for a brand new special event will be using in all generation of Chevy Corvettes except the C7 Group 3 road car. But here comes the 4 special picks to have the C6 CR1 2009, 4th generation CR1 1989, and 3 variants on the 3rd generation Corvette Stingray. But here is the car price on the 5th generation Corvette is 54,200 GT credit. Base color on the example image is Millennium Yellow. Already owned and total distance driven is 24,588 miles. Same goes on to the main performance point in 562.97. So let's see how Annie gonna have to learn more of the details and see how it turns out to give a good description on the detail. Looking for a true, unapologetically American sports car? Then look no further. We might have found your ideal car. The Chevrolet Z06 is a revived legend for the 5th generation Corvette. The Z06 name pays homage to the 1960s C2 race package. Unveiled in 2001, this reincarnated Z06 builds on the C5 platform with enhanced suspension and upgraded brakes and more. Under the hood is a 5.7-liter V8 producing 384.6 horsepower paired with a weight reduction measures to sharpen its edge. Its notchback body sets it apart visually from the base model, so are you ready to find out what she's really made of? I'm always saying ready, Andy. And second time and serve the purchase, we'll go for another Z06 as a widebody kit to go for the modification style set. I'm so very hyped about the moment, you guys. And inspection check, we'll have to take 4 cars we'll be visiting to the GT Auto. As the first one will have to be available to have the C5 Corvette is gonna have to take a good look. The music is going back on, and take a good look on the wide body kit that costs us with 25,000 GT credits when you're using the Chevy Corvette Z06 5th generation 2001. By the presentation preview, it turns out to be coming as a C5R counterpart is well based up to have some different set of customization by having a show on the preview. So look closely after fitting the wide body is well different before installation. Got to admit, this is quite cool, impressive, and awesome to have this road car to be coming as a C5R counterpart to be designed and take on with some Group 4 and Group 3 race car, especially for the Dodge Viper GTS 2002 by 1 year prior to the early 2000s. But that would be quite very impressive to have the second Corvette after being purchased from the used car dealership earlier. Now, perhaps I'll have to take a good look on custom parts without a wide body kit in case if I need to get the second one will be installed to go for preparation that brings out to have a different appearance. Let's have a non-wide body part to go for a custom part by appearance. Gonna have to do the front and have one part to be adding up by type A. Very cool, and much more specifically to have this good road going counterpart for the Corvette C5, and same goes to have some different options just like all the other cars that had to be put up onto type A with a badge removed and have one part to be put up into type B. Same on the rear, just only have one part removed and have this part to be adding up in the rear in type B. And I bet you guys really think about the wing spoiler, turns out to give a good shape, unique, and have type A to be a low lib and GT wing spoiler to be put up onto type B to be based up from the Corvette C5R 2000 race car. But maybe I kind of like about this part, which is very good for the 5th generation Corvette, is now been style, outfit, and give a good wide body kit to be suitable to be using by both of them with or without a kit to be installed. Now for the other parts, let's have a good check on the front grille and remove the Corvette badge on type A is quite good to be placed up to be outfit to be using as GT1 race car. But even perhaps the license plate to be example to be put up on the front in type A and for type B to be placed up in the middle. See the difference and comparison just like all the other different versions to be outfit to be using in US/Japan specific. Well, I kind of like about the Type B, which is very perfectly to be covered on the Corvette title to be seen in front, and have the Type B to go removed without it. And for the light bulb, and have some other options just like the roll bar cages to go adding up by different options to go for Type A, Type B, or Type C. Same goes to have some different placements on tow hook to be using on Type A and Type B, and for the hood pin, Type A is good to be competition to be unique and seal cover to be quite exactly to be well placed, and for the hood pin uniquely and perfect to be styled in Type A, and same goes to have the seal cover in Type B. Let's give the used car Corvette Z06 5th generation a try and purchase to be available in 25,000 GT credit by different appearance on Aero Parts. Let's go for building up the wide body. Just have a few seconds, and here it is. Wait until the magic, and now. Beautiful and fitted to becoming as a race-ready model for the 5th gen Corvette is work complete. Let's see the different custom parts after fitting the wide body is now becoming as a good perfect example as a C5R counterpart. Beautiful, impressive, and give that front bumper to becoming as Type A that costs for the same 3000 GT credit and go accepted to be fitted and will install. And same goes to have Type A and B to have the badge removed and take a good look. Stunning, excellent, and side kits is going to be on Type B. Beautiful, wonderful, and terrific, and same goes to the rear, just have one part to be removed and different rear part is now adding up by Type B. Sweet and C5R indeed. Now I had to go adding up by Type B and make it much more exactly to becoming as a Corvette C5R. Just have one roll bar cages on Type C, tow hook, wheel place up on Type A. But I can't wait to have this Corvette C5 to becoming as a UDRS Inspirtech livery after trying out with 4 cars. Just might need to have a little bit more moment and have Type A on hood pin and front grille, just only have one Corvette badge to be removed. There you go, and have the license plate to be preferred to go in Type A or Type B with rear only. And for the light bulb, I've already equipped and purchased 150 credits with a super cool 9500K is quite good to be style, outfit, and one part is already equipped earlier. So there you go, and one more thing perhaps, I just had to go selected by aftermarket rims. Got to go in BBS and see which one should I have to go with. Pick a rim, any rim, and show up with any other Gran Turismo players prior to the weekly challenges for 1 week as limited time only. Just have the standard size and make it into fitted, wide, and good on the offset. Okay, so perfectly and one good phase preparation to have my own Inspirtech livery courtesy of the United Defense Reformation Service to be set and served for upcoming livery to be prior to the new part of the weekly challenge after finishing up on 2nd week of May. Now, in that case, I'll have to grab and have the Ferrari 812 Superfast. We might have to take a good check on the aero parts on the custom appearance. Let's see some custom parts and have different options to be available to be using on the front, rear, and wing spoiler. For the front part, it has Type A for having a low lip splinter and for Type B to be outfit to give a reinforce on the carbon fiber that costs with both of them in 15,000 GT credits if you're about to go for Type A or Type B. And have one part to be in the rear, just only have one diffuser is well placed up to be exactly to be outfit to go for a carbon fiber to be purchased with 7,000 GT credits, and for 2 types on the wing spoiler, it costs for Type A in 4,500 credits to be on the low lip spoiler, and for Type B with the same price is quite practical, impressive, and give this Gran Turismo car will be doing much more different just like the F12 Berlin Enta. I can't say, aero parts on the 812 Superfast is awesome and very impressive. Now for the other parts, in case if there will be some different methods to be put up on the front grille and other parts like the roll bar cages. So that might brings out to have some aero parts by a preview of showcase, and let's see the wide body kit is about to go for expensive. But it may be cost 100,000 Gran Turismo credit after fitting the wide body kit until being installed. But the width is about to go increase into 80 inches, and let's have a good preview check onto the front and the rear. Just to clarify to have the comparison before installation on the left and after fitting the wide body on the right on the 812 Superfast. The performance point is still remain to be placed by 688.85 is now well actually to give an increase of the width that brings out to have a different look and appearances to go outfit to be placed in the front and rear spoiler except on the side. Well, maybe I'll have to hold on to it, and that brings out to have the first kind of a hypercar will be entered on the course will be having a ticket to go to Autodrome Lago Maggiore. Next up is the Suzuki Carry KC 2012. We'll be having a good look on custom parts in the front, side, rear and wing spoiler, just like the Mercedes-Benz Unit Mod Type 411 1962. As a Japanese cake truck, it also features to have a Type A as a facelift and one part to be serving as a front splinter in Type B. Both of them that cost us with 1500 GT credits and have the side will go for only both types that have one part in Type A and remove it and have the side windows to be placed up into Type B. Let's have the rotation and give a good difference on comparison that causes with both of them to be selected and equipped with 1000 credits. Got to admit, this is the second kind of a semi-transport vehicle to be outfitted and go for a Japanese K car, or more likely to have this K truck is now added to the game. But look closely, this brings out to have a different rear part to go style unique and have a transportation box, and the different option on Type B is going to be quite very interesting. So here is Type A is a transport box and Type B is a ramen stall. A-type similar customization to a non-wide Type B previously appeared in Initial D the arcade for that game's older Suzuki Carry that was added to this month that prior to this update. But look at this, you guys. This Type B part option is quite very good, unique, and have a standing cruising to have a good ramen point is very more unique. But I bet if anybody else would like to see this Suzuki Carry that carried out to have some ramen, that would be a quite very good to be serving up and have some attraction for customers. But I kind of like this part. It's very cool, impressive, and have this good mobile K truck is cruising around to have some customers attract. But almost forgot one thing to have the wing part to be on the option. So first one is the wingless, and both of them that costs us with 1000 GT credit to be using on Type A, and have Type B is previously to have a similar look just like the European semi-truck vehicles to be take part of the FIA events. Got to admit, it turns out very cool and give a good jazz up on this Carry. KC is about to go for style and participate to see the K truck will go challenging with Japanese K cars to be ordered onto the Daihatsu, Honda, and especially for Suzuki Cappuccino and Jeepney XC. As the front grille that features to go with 3 options if you're about to pick on Type A, Type B, or Type C. So look closely, this different part on Type A that costs with 500 GT credits and have the different one that removes all the parts and the grille in Type B is going well to be same as well. And the seal part on Type C, very clever, and I kind of think about this different option on the front bumper is quite very good to be outfit and serving up to becoming as a race ready K car. And even yet, there's one unique plate option before installed in Type B in the front and rear only. The Japanese symbol means danger. This sign is usually installed if the car carries potentially hazardous material. Looks interesting and very unique, but I really think about 2 different choices with or without a front bumper part to have this Japanese symbol that turns out to have some hazardous material. But that's all for having one part to have a Carry KC, and I'll have to take a good look because I just already brought another Carry KC to have a good opportunity will be installed to go on the widebody kit. It may cost 5000 GT credits to be installed to have a good look on the Suzuki Carry is about to go outfit and make it much more modification to becoming as a racing cake truck. So here is the image before installation and after fitting widebody that has a decrease of performance point into 232.69 and the width will go increase into 60.7. And for the rear, just only have a similar look and compared to the Mercedes-Benz Unit Mod Type 411 1962. But the good news is, I already got this one to be adding up on the car index to be well placed up to have the additional after purchase from the brand Central. So here is the magic, and widebody on the Carry KC is now work complete. Beautiful. And this one, without having one truck cab, is about to go becoming as a Japanese K car for racing use. With the widebody is now been installed, different changes on the front, side, and rear for Type A and B is about to becoming much more different just like the non-widebody specific. So here is Type A to have the rear part on the cab to be removed, and have one part into Type B is perfectly to be coming as a European truck spec version. But it turns out to be coming very awesome and very challenging, and it still does have a cake truck. Is quite good to be outfit to be using on racing courses, just like you're about to go to Tsukuba Circuit. So let's give a purchase by 1000 credit and have a side. We'll be adding up with one part in Type A and have the extension to go into Type B. But I just really think about Type B is quite very interesting, cool, and well outfit to have this K truck is well becoming as a competition vehicle. That should do one-way ticket to be prior to the lightweight K Cup to Argent Norwood. And last but not least, for the front part, just have the Type A from the non-wide body specific as Type B, and the different part to have a low splinter to go increase of aerodynamics to be placed up into Type B. Got to go purchase and accepted by install with 1500 GT credits, and have for Type B. Make it much more indeed to have the installation and turn this K car for a road going and to a competition spec. Alright, so that should do very well. And one more thing perhaps, just only have Type A that has the rear only, and more likely just have Type B to be put up on the danger sign symbol. But if possible, I'll have to switch up to have one different options to be placed up to be using on the rear only. And for the light bulb, already purchased on Cool 6000 Gay earlier, as I'm about to be equipped and fit the part. Now, this is a good tuning example when using the Suzuki Carry KC 2012 to be outfit and have the wide body kit is now becoming as a K-truck competition. This will have to bring out to have the Ford vehicle will give the aero appearance on custom parts on the Honda CR-V 2021. So this is going to be very interesting to have a good look on the Honda CR-V HEB X Black Edition 2021. It brings out to have one hybrid crossover SUV 4x4 in the all-wheel drive is about to be coming as a Time Attack spec version. Let's have a good check and take a good look on the Type A that costs us with 2000 GT credits, and very perfectly that turns out to be a unique Time Attack vehicle if you're about to bring this one to go to Pikes Peak International Hill Climb and for the rally races for Type B. This part is very well indeed to be bringing over to Colorado Springs in Lake Layout along with Sardinia Windmills and Fisherman's Ranch. Plus for the side, have one part to be placed up into Type A that costs with 1500 GT credits along with the rear. Just have Type A with badge removed and one diffuser part in the rear by Type B. Both of them that costs us with 2000 credits, and for the wing spoiler, same price, and have a good look for Type A, and for the big wing for Type B, just like the Suzuki B6 Escudo Pikes Peak Special 1998 and Hyundai Ioniq Q5N 2024. But bam! Type B is going different for this big wing spoiler. It's quite going off the chart. Turns out very unique, awesome, and I never noticed to see a 4x4 crossover SUV is now becoming as a Time Attack vehicle. Looks so awesome, and front grille will be inspection to have a good look. So here is Type A on the part, and additional just like the standard parts will go into Type B. See the difference? Standard parts and have for Type B. Standard parts and for Type B. But it also costs with 1000 GT credits if you're about to go with this one, and have the other one to have this part to be attached on top of the hood. So that will brings out to have a good unique SUV to be coming as a Time Attack vehicle to the game, just like the crossover SUV like the Lamborghini Urus, Toyota C-HRS 2018, Mazda CX-30, Hyundai Ioniq Q5N, and this one for the CR-V HEB X Black Edition that brings out to have different set of license plate to go for Type A and for Type B in European spec. I really like about Type A license plate, it actually does much more perfectly to be turns out to have a different. I really like about Type A license plate, this one turns in perfect and unique. Well, I kinda like it, and it also has to be using on roll bar cages as well. Nice and very good to be reinforced to have this crossover SUV to be outfit to be styled in all-wheel drive hybrid. But one last thing, to have a good check on the wide body kit to be in the car maintenance and service. This will have to take a cost amount by 10,000 GT credits and wait until the response. We'll be having a presentation to go for a preview after fitting the wide body. So the fenders itself is about to be attached and go placement, as the images will have to be shown on the front and rear. Decrease on the performance point into 380.88 and increase the width by 74.3 inches. Now this very good, nice and perfectly to have this CRV is now added to the game. Let's move on and take a good look on the brand new feature curation in scapes by shooting the perfect square in geometric backdrops. New genre location besides the new one around the globe. 17 backgrounds by having preset of the vehicles will be featured for the update. Now this is beautiful, stunning, creativity, and everything is all about to have your own kind of geometric when it comes to have your own favorite cars and example for this latest update. Now, which one should I start out with? This is pretty interesting and more impressive. But how about, I'll have to pick Shibuya Sky, located in Tokyo, Japan. Let's give that red background style with a Ferrari FXXK 2014 and make it to go in blue background with my own UDRS Inspirtech livery. Just have to go by last use and pick any car, any race car, and road going type. But maybe how about I'll have to pick the Dodge Viper SRT GT3R 2015 and replace it in the red background. Will make it much more effective to be in blue. But I still got some good presets to be well made by the last image after my free time. Just have to go on Scape Photos and choose a background is well preferred to be perfect in the blue. But man, it takes a lot of pictures out there that I just collected because of my own quest is all about to have my own creativity to have the best of the memory. So this will have to go and have this one is going to be highlight to go effect in the red and blue. Maybe good enough. And how about to have this background scene to go for a little bit more geometric. Okay, no need to do that, and have that degrees to be set by 15 and low beam is set into high beams. Okay, there you go. Wait for the picture to be rendering to have the first one as the example. Good enough, and it turns out to have a good sense of racing creativity to have a good image for my own. So that's one down check, and let's try National Stadium in Tokyo, Japan. I really think about this most genre topic for the latest update besides having brand new location. Then let's replace the Toyota A6 GT 2015 and make it like an Odd Nation cartoon variation style on the Nissan Silvia Case Aero S14 1996 will be turned from red into purple. Okay, maybe perhaps the car background is fully affected to be in gray. But once I got the preset effects just in case that I have to go prefer to be well replaced to be make it a good temporarily in style. But good thing I still have the photo background prior to February 2025 on the 14th. Make it like to go pink and have the temperature to go for a screen effect. Okay, so that's gonna be doing on screen effect 1. Let's investigate on screen effect 2. Just let me do all the part, and it's gonna be a good sense of creativity. Just make that hot pink and well converted to have this good additional on the green trim to be increased by having a highlight. well, a little bit more pink as ever, but it preferred to be much more basic on purple. Now let's get things to be organized and see how it turns out. Just reposition and geometric will fill the pattern. Just let me do all the artists, and it has to make something to go for a creative talent just like Alessio. Maybe almost to be pink. My suggestions might have to be preferred to be full screen effect into perfectionly to be naturally to be talented. Okay, voila, and give that capture image to be rendering. Wait until the magic, and there you go. Probably good enough, but only one thing for sure, to have one extra car to be added. Let's have the Subaru BRZ GT300 in the same Odd Nation Cartoons variation. Okay, there it is, and there's the BRZ GT300. It'll make it much more perfectly to be compared by the difference. Okay, fair enough. And one more thing, perhaps, got to go by shutter speed to be increased by 250 seconds. Just have to go picture again and make it to go as new. Brilliant and talented, beautiful. Okay, and for the last one, let's see, it's about to go full effect to be in nighttime display. So let's go to Wynwood, Miami, and replace the Corvette C07CR1 2019 to have a standard color and make it like a UDRS Inspirtech livery from my very own. Alright, there's my hypercar variation style from the Crew 2. Let's replace it and give it a good background to be dynamically to be placed in full blue. Alright, I'll have to pick this one to be used on the current background, and have the car effect will be going for a display in blue. Just make it more enhanced and suitable to go situate in brightness. Okay, that's much more like it. A good camera photography and the artist itself has to make it more perfection to be using on car effects will turn out to becoming more enhanced and suitable to be giving a good dynamic effects. Just have to get that contrast to be situated. Okay, good on the bright, and make it into 80%. Too close. Contrast and have the midpoint correction. Okay, just have to go for black correction. Okay, angled in. And cue the picture rendering. There we go. Good in blue and style outfit for my very own. But boy, good thing Polypody Digital just putting up to have a brand new genre background on scapes for the update, and it turns out to have a good geometric backdrop to have one of your own car, and the background itself to have your favorite location when it comes to make your own kind of an artwork. So there's no need to have a good look on the GT Cafe because I'm already finishing up all 49 extra menus at once according to the dashboard. Just only have 45 is now total to be stationed up to go for 100% complete. And for the update on total of cars is now been stationed up to be in 532 as I'm still at in 99%. but 1% to go decrease in progress on event races has now recently to be adding up by 3 more events. But I'll have to look for myself, and then brand new lap time challenge is going green light at the go at Dragon Trail Seaside after the 1989 4th generation Corvette CR-1. But luckily, I almost forgot having one last reminder before finishing up at the second week of May for the weekly challenge. I'll have to get down and have a good look on 3 new events for the update. Here is Ferrari Circuit Challenge. It's about to go adding up by race number 5 at Switzerland in D-Force Raceway by featuring with the 812 Superfast followed by the F8 Trifuto 2019. Maximum reward by 90,000 GT credits, and let's have a good check on American Clubman Cup 700 as additional to be racing on number 8. So it's going to be located at Autodromo de Interlagos by showcasing with 3 of the kind Corvette like the C8 Stingray, 3rd generation, and 5th generation C06. And for the Lightweight K-Cup, it's about to go open in race number 4 at Argent Norwood. Perfect, and it's about to go 6 laps by the same performance point requirement into 400. I'll have to look forward to it, and that brings out before the 3rd week of May until tomorrow, as I'm about to be prepared and go recommend to be using the Suzuki Carry KC 2012. I'm all ready, and let's go to Sport Mode. We'll be received to go on the gift icon after finishing WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca for the 2016 Ford Shelby GT350R. But man, it gives me a lot of hard work for all that production work until being proceed onwards to have a major lineup as I'm about to be having a good look. So I still got the gold record, and position I'm at is 7,732nd place, and bring out to have a 2 million GT credit by promoted into gold medal 96. But count me in, and almost there to be reaching up by 48,518,730 credits. So, it's already been finishing up for the GTWS online qualifiers for the Manufacturers Cup and Nations Cup. So I have to be moving on forward, and all I have to do is going to get focused on the lap time challenge as I'm about to go participate at Dragon Trail Seaside for trying out with the 5th generation Corvette Z06 2001. 13 days is now been left available for every 2 weeks, and I still got a good gold record when I was using the Honda NSX 2017 in Total Drama World Tour Variation livery of Team Amazon at Autopolis International Racing Course. So here is the gold record objective as I'm about to go climb up and take the first try in 1 minute 51.224 seconds in comparison to top cars at 3%. Just in time on the entry period is now been opened on May 15 and ends until at the end of the month on the 29th, 2025. Sports medium compound tires is all set. Wide body, nitrous/overtake to be double checked on prohibited. Mid speed is about to go settings on specified. That should do perfectly, and switching up to go for a non-wide body Corvette Z06 5th generation is about to be recommended to be using on sports medium compound tires. It's been default by hard compound tires. It's now been set by default, and I'm about to go switch it right now and will apply. So it's about to be automatically to be placed up by 384 horsepower and weight 3,106 pounds. As I'm a big fan of Corvette, I really love about the 5th generation Z06 is perfect for all Gran Turismo players, including myself, and especially for every Chevy fans itself around in America. This is going to be a lot of fun, and first hands-on impression and lap time challenge is about to go underway to have a first single session to be prepared and go for a one single American sports car, just like you're about to have a good hands-on impression like playing Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. But not to mention, I just really think about all the generation of Corvettes since I just really love about the C6 CR1 2009 as a good icon since Gran Turismo PlayStation Portable. Let's get down on the ranking board and have the global ranking to be set, and prefer to have one good GT player to be precisely to be either on the icon replay. Got to go down by page 1001 through 1100. No sign of the replay icon, and just in case to see if I had to see one of them is perfectly to go for one session of the challenge. Well, I really think about these kinds of new set of livery variation without using the wide body kit according to the regulation. I bet everybody really loves about the Z06 5th generation, and that brings out to have this one on position 1224 place made by Connor Adams in a minute 50.825 seconds. So here it is right now. Spotted on the replay icon in position 849 made by Ninja Fingers in a minute 50.642 seconds. Very much more good on the torch red Corvette. Load up it goes and be successful as I'm about to go entered on the course to be one-way ticket to be on the gold record to be precisely. If I had to go for a minute and 50 seconds, we'll do the prediction. As the ABS will have to set into weak, and let's give that baby a try and go rolling on the start. Just take a good sound of the engine. I really love to enjoy it, and rolling on set to be on the last turn to go warm up until the first lap will go Q on a time. But look over here onto this interior dashboard. Now this is a very good 21st century sports car after being introduced in 1999 to have the 5th generation comes out after the end of the 4th generation production. The handling, speed, and the suspension is quite very amazing to have a good potential to be using on double wishbone. As I'm about to go catch up with the ghost car, first lap and give a tour around with this most nice, stunning, beautiful on the C5 Corvette Z06 2001. Just like the 2000 and 2004 counterpart from the previous Gran Turismo games, it still have a good handling response and comes in to have a good speed by around in over 350 horsepower. As I really think about this dashboard, turns out and give a good detailed look to have a nice checker black symbol and the logo of the Corvette itself. As everybody really think, this Z06 5th generation turns out to go 100% as a good nostalgia. Just have to step it up. Got to go on the first hairpin and brake zone to have the main turn to go currently right here. Such as might have to get ready to go for a hard effort to be proceed in lap 2. This car is new and put up for a brand new test. Now here comes the chicane bus stop. Watch out for the orange spot. This could be a very tough one that we have to be very extra careful, just like when you're driving on the Corvette CR1 4th generation 1989. Okay, going into the final corner. Just wait until the second lap. Will prepare myself to go out lap on the offense. But it's already been passed by in a minute and 51 seconds. Let's switch it onto the hood cam. Will be switched on different position. Alright, let's give the yellow and red Corvettes will do the try. First turn clear. Now going committed on turn 2 and 3 on the opposite corkscrew. We have to take a good watchful eye focus as the gap distance is about to be in play. So I have to keep a good watchful eye on the red Corvette C5. This is going to be very tricky, just like the previous Corvette as a good American sports car. Alright, first set to clear. Let's go in and take sector 2. Steer well to go careful. All I have to do is going to go commit on corners and turns. We'll feel the lane on the gap. We'll pull through. Okay, wonderful. Just deal with a hairpin and get closer nearby until going right back at sector 3. We'll be going on the chicane of death. So I'm down for it. It takes concentration and practice for a whole new lap time challenge. Pretty safe, clear, and going almost by 4 seconds on the minus. is about to go increase on the up and avoid the go on the red down. Okay, make that final turn to go in, prefer, and update into 5 seconds as I'm about to go on lap 3. So update for my record in 1 minute, 52.593 seconds. Still got this in the bag, and practice will make it perfect. Okay, fair enough. So I got 0.039 seconds on the minus and red a bag to go down. All I have to do is gonna have to go blue up and deal with some few turns when you're entered on sector 1 and proceed again at sector 2. This will have to take a lot of concentration to get things onto the S. Almost there. Just make that requirement and go up and succeed it to the goal. But man, I just really love the sound of the engine, and the handling is going way off the hooks. Oh boy, that was so very close. So I got 0.8 seconds. Now, all I have to do is going to go back at sector 3 and deal with the chicane of death. It's going to be risky, so I have to be very extra careful. Oof. Okay, talk about having a close call. That should do. One-way ticket to have a deacceleration. We'll have to save my time. It's going well impressive to have this good spirit from the second generation Corvette Z06 race car from the 1960s. The C5 Corvette still got a good skills to have some new tricks and competitive as becoming as the C5-R. So 4th lap is on the way, and I'm about to go update for the same record in a minute and 52 seconds by the decimal in 0.362. Just have to go for a strategy as I'm about to go head up and straight onto the 5th lap as I'm about to catch up onto my ghost car, just like the Millennium Yellow. And for the main one is still currently to be using on the Torch Red. Time to step things up and go quicker to have a 0.3 seconds on the plus as heading back again in sector 2. It's gonna have to take a little bit longer. 3 cars might have to be pending on standby until I'll have to go for the Ferrari A12 Superfast after this. Just go committed on the main turns and wait until the hairpin to come back in the 4th time. Just deliver on the advantage. Just have to keep a good watchful eye out. Okay, coming in. Okay, close call without contact. Now I'll have to come up and give a little bit more patience on brainstorming if I had to go to the 5th lap. Come on, Z06, you can do it. Just make that final turn to go straight and reset on the lap. Alright, 5th lap, and let's do it. Just have to get my focus on and steady up until turn 2. Okay, touch up the apex. I'm still have to go offense to catch up onto the red Corvette Z06. Let's see how it turns out to give that pattern until turn 4 and make that sharp turn on number 5. Come on, you can do it. Just go focus, precision, and master the weak ABS system. Just dive in here and go touch up the apex right here. Ooh, so very close, and I almost barely had it. Still got this in one piece, and the main corners will go committed on the first hairpin. Okay, still remains by 0.2 seconds up ahead. Let's face up to overcome the chicane depth for the C5 Corvette. This could get tricky, just like Daytona International Speedway, so I got a short upper hand and going increase slightly by 0.1 seconds into 0.2. Okay, pedal to the metal and going switch up to make it much more further offense to get there, to be marked by 1 minute and 51 seconds. And there we go. At least I still have the silver precision to go place up by a decimal in 0.899. Come on, I can do this one. Extra lap will go number 6. Alright, there we go. So I got the upper hand shortly and deal with turn 4. Slightly, we'll have to take some good cue to find a good racing line on the Corvette. But I can't wait until the weekly challenges to go to Grand Valley Highway 1 for a festival of racing with all generations of Chevy Corvettes. From C1 to C8, it's all about the evolution of Corvettes is the America's most iconic sports car. But I still have a good bond and a good heart. It still remains to go alive. Okay, just had to go step it up. But man, I feel so alive out there when it comes to have a good, nice 5th generation Corvette, folks. Okay, now let's face up to go quicker exit, just in case if I had to be remembered from the previous lap. Okay, then here comes the final corner again. Just had to go figure in and figure out. But naturally, only 1 minute and 51 seconds, might have to take a predicted guess if I had to go pushing up and full through to have turn 2 and 3. Steady as it goes, touch at the apex and go steeper on the hill climb. So it's already reached up by 20 miles. Still good and well exercised on the skill. Luckily I didn't press the headlights, so I just might need to keep it closed during on daytime. Skill to be ready, and I'll have to make sure to be finishing up to have a total laps and time trial to go on number 7. I really think about having a one good excellent lap time challenge to see this good kind of a Corvette is everyone's most favorite sports car of the 2000s. Just like the Dodge Viper GTS 2002 and Ford Mustang SBT Cobra R 2001 is all about to have a good potential from muscle cars to iconic sports car. But even not to mention, because the Ford Mustang SBT Cobra is still have a better element as the American's most iconic muscle car, just like the Camaro C28 and the SS counterpart since the late 90s and early 2000s is now giving a good treatment on the facelift. But I wonder if the Camaro C28 1997 Coupe can actually be coming to Gran Turismo 7. But we'll have to find out soon enough, and that brings out to have a one good kind of a Camaro, just like the first generation as the C28 back from 1969. But on second thought, I'll have to go and take the extra lap on number 8. Just make that commit on turn 3, going up, and make that acceleration to go full throttle. Come on, I can do this one. It's all about fun times of Corvette and the fun times of joyride practice. Okay, doing well to be cleared to have turn number 5 to be proceed back on sector 2. Come on. Don't want to go off the track. I had to stay on the track is all I need to get things to go focus on the commanded turns. But touching at the apex is doing fine okay, and the hairpins, just whatever I need to get things to go suitable and strategize before heading back by taking one more chicane of depth. It's going closer to be at the 3rd sector. It gets me a little bit nervous. Okay, just like to have the same pattern. Okay, almost there, and good enough to have the final stretch to be reaching up towards the goal line until I'll have to call it for a day. Okay, so average time in a minute, 52.611 seconds. So that should be enough for only one car to try it out. And let's see the good past results. It's now been finishing up, and there you go. 15 minutes, 22.575 seconds. Man, I'm so very hyped and being well addicted to the Corvettes as the lap time challenge is to go primary. As the lap time challenge is about to go primary on focus. Good thing I just took by a minute, 51.89 seconds, and very more adding up by 19 is about to go down to be on the update to have 26.3 miles and go into by having a 1 received daily workout on the 4-star roulette ticket. So good on the max speed requirement by 151 miles per hour as my best time in session 1 is go perfectly to be placed in lap number 5. 3 sectors are about to be separate to have sector 1 in the 3rd lap by 37.676 seconds, followed by in sector 2 at lap number 4 in 35.316 seconds, and for lap number 6 on sector 3, 38.611 seconds. Good work, and first car in May 2025 update for version 1.59 is the good example of the sports car of the 21st century. So I'm at in position 4,163rd place in comparison to top cars at 3.62% in the silver level. Just only have one good test ride and deserve to have a content replay to be saved. But I still got a few minutes on my free time and very perfectly to have a good scene on the thumbnail image as I got everything to be planned and will cover for this main part of the content video. So let's move on and have car number 2 will be proceed to get entered at Autodrome Lago Maggiore by using the Ferrari 812 Superfast. Will go on the track by having a single hypercar to be at the ready. Race time is on the way, and the challenge is about to go for a second phase on the hands-on impression if you're about to go participate to be racing in the Ferrari Circuit Challenge on Autodrome Lago Maggiore Circuit. Just like playing in Forza Motorsport, Horizon, the Crew 2, Motorfest, and Assetto Corsa, just like the 812 Superfast, to have a good look on the detailed settings by having a good look on the engine model. It is known as the F140GA-812 that brings out to have a good impressive performance to have a good feature to be added up on engine tuning with 3 stages of weight reduction including the increased body rigidity. Just like the similar performance level when you're playing in the Crew 2 in Motorfest as a base of the hypercar discipline. Just only have one example and see how it turns out. We'll give a comparison for only one car in different racing games. Just only have one good race with standard, with classic, and modern Ferrari cars, and that brings out with a perfect opportunity. We'll face up with the F8 Tributo 2019 for the 812 Superfast. 5 laps will get tested and see how it turns out. We'll go for a Ferrari taste of competition for a road going on effort. I'm really glad that this is going to be the only kind of a hypercar status is now been welcomed to Gran Turismo 7. So let's have a good look on the starting grid and have a good watchful eye on the F8 Tributo 2019. There is B. Bandeni and he is on the 14th position. That should do perfectly, and let's go. Now listen to the sound of the V12 engine, everyone. It's about to go rolling start for 3 seconds, and let's give the 812 Superfast will go rolling in as a true Gran Turismo vehicle for a standalone hypercar. Got to go in the first turn and get overtake on the Ferrari 308 GTB 1975 as I'm about to catch up on Bandeni in 14th position. Now this is so beautiful to have a good kind of a hypercar to go out in the open road when you're playing on Forza Horizon and the Crew 2 along with Motorfest. By having a good look inside to this interior view, by having a same look and different treatment to go for a main part of the dashboard. Just awesome, very astounding, and good effort to have a control on the 4 wheels will give a good steer of direction as we're about to go enter to have a good course to find a racing line. Just only have one good potential opportunity if you're about to face up with an F8 Tributo 2019 to get there closely earlier as they're about to be proceed to have the first 3 races as the menu book if you already have enough currency credit before visiting to Grand Central without the invitation. Just steady as it goes and have the main turn to go clear to be proceed to the 400 meter straight. Halfway there onto the next sector, got to go clear and make that gravity to be centered in low position. Hillside corner on turn 11. Let's go in there and catch up to the F8 Tributo earlier towards the end of the first lap. Just keep it nice and steady. But there's no need to be using nitro at this moment because simulation racing games is all about to put things to go basic into tests. But this is the only kind of a hypercar discipline from the Crew 2 and Motorfest to be set onward to Gran Turismo 7, folks. But I still love about this car and very much more elegance if I have to go and put up with a UTRS and Sportec livery to be participate on the Live Summit event in Forever Ferrari. Just have to go stepping in, full stretch, and overtake the F8 Tributo by using the middle section until lap number 2 is on the way. Okay, looks like Bandeni just really wanted to say, challenge accept. But much more wonderful to have a good response on the handling, will give a feedback. But I really bet the Bugatti Chiron 2016 is really excited to have the 812 Superfast is about to join the hypercar party. Let's give that push and go short straight to be onward towards the end of the first sector and entrance in sector 2. Just have the TCS traction to be set in 1. Gotta get behind on the F430 2006 in position 9 and 10. Closer in. Got the radar. Will be monitored on surveillance in case of incoming contact. Okay, take it slow and make that pace patient and still yet remain by 23.4 seconds. Terrific, terrific, and terrific double overtake. Now I'll have to go down below and take the hillside corner again. There's the Testarossa in position 8, and there's McFadden in the 458 Italia 2009 in 7th place. Got to make sure to keep that line to be motion and feel the pace of the hypercar will give its own status is now being ready up on the track. Feels like the 812 Superfast is going on overdrive, folks. I'll have to keep it nice and neat and get the handling. We'll go motion on the main line to catch up onto the F12 Berlin Inta in the meantime. So I got the 7th position to go in, and total gap distance down to 19.3 seconds to go. Superb run, and onward to the halfway mark in lap number 3. Naturally, to be impressive and comes in to have the next one, will give a good hands-on to be using on 2 different versions on the K truck on the Suzuki Carry KC 2012. But I just really think about having some differences between without a wide body and wide body that comes in to be well specifically to be outfit to be designed to be using on the over road and used to be put up as a wide body kit in racing. Just like European truck cars is quite very interesting to see how it goes for a competition to see some semi-trucks is now becoming as FIA approved ready. Well, I haven't watched the FIA Cab Truck series is very more entertaining to see how the races is about to go for new heights and a brand new level ever since that you're about to be playing on Forza Motorsport. And especially in Forza Horizon 5 as well on Xbox Series X and X, Steam, PC, and PlayStation 5. But gosh, being as a racer is giving me a very much more hype moment as I have to go hyper in excitement. Just save my strength later on and save all the expression that I just need to have my breath will be taking a calm down. So it's getting closer down to 12.2 seconds. Almost there to catch up to the top 3 drivers. H. Hunter, Simon Bishop still remains at the top 3 spot. But boy, the 458 Italias is about to get a little bit more trouble out there if the 812 Superfast is now coming aboard. And there's Balnet and the F12 Berlin Enta. The processor to the 812 Superfast is in 4th place. Let's keep it nice and clean, and motion will go feel the key. Let's make that push to go offense down to 10 seconds left, 4th lap to be entered in the penultimate run. Let's keep it nice and clean, and it's about to go competent to be skillful on the motion. Gotta keep a good eye on the F12 Berlin Enta viewers, and I see Simon Bishop in 3rd place. Keep it up, keep it paces, and will patient on the corners, will go motion on the balance. That's more like it. Overtake the F12 Berlin Enta and catching up to the 458 Italia 2009. Okay, still got this to be maintained to go short recovery after the exit turn on turn 6. Now this is a beautiful hypercar out there folks, on the track, not on the open road. But I can't wait until the upcoming lap time challenge for the 812 Superfast at Autodromo National Monza or Autodrome Lago Maggiore. I'll have to decide and wait to see how it turns out to give a good different amount of challenges as I got warm-up in session to be doing in the full race. So I got the 3rd position, only 2 more to go. Just need to have 1 more turn to go amp up on the ABS system is still motion in a week. Slow and steady as it goes, just like having a competent motion while you're about to be playing in Forza Motorsport or Forza Horizon 5. Slower it gets, the faster we'll give that racing line on the 812 Superfast will go Italian on the pride. Just feel the spirit of the prancing horse and the motion legacy from the previous Ferrari models since the 20th century. This will have to give the 2017 812 Superfast will go up and made it towards the gap distance in 5.4 seconds into the final lap. So let's go and catch up with the last 2 remaining Ferrari vehicles and bring it home to the 812 Superfast. We'll be finishing up to have a second impression for car test number 2. Just veer the line and give a good feeling will be sent and motion to be around onto turn 3 and 4. Turn 5 is already clear, so I have a good eye distance on H Hunter in position 1, followed by U Satana in position 2. Reach for the line and gonna have to get closer, nearly there. I'm coming in and hop around on the S's. Okay, touch that apex and go slider to the right. Make that straightaway to go clear without taking one center gravity as third sector is closing in. Okay, well done. First place in the lead. Now that's what I call one good hypercar without tuning parts and one sports medium compound tires is a good high performance to give a good exotic taste. Now onto the last sector. Only a few more turns to go, and getting closer to the 16th position driver will be called out on the blue flag. Just have to make it on top and go final stretch down to the last turn. Just keep that line steady up and make my lap time to go update to be faster and solid achievement. Bravo and successful. First place and give a good art tasting of a racing. And thankfully, I kind of like about the 812 Superfast is very more brilliant to go faster in the highway in Motor Nation and Motorfest. But after all, it's a good kind of a true successor Grand Touring vehicle like the F12 Berlin Enta. Fit lap and good moment to have a placement mark by 2 minutes, 12.396 seconds and a total time by over 11 minutes, added with 17.694 seconds. Fabulous and one good racing taste of Italian. That brings out with 157,500 GT credits and 18.1 miles plus 28.5 to go update into 46.7. And that's not all. One content replay awaits me as I still might need to save enough spaces before I proceed to go to the WTC 700 at Red Bull Ring later on. Now, let's find the F12 Berlin Enta if I had to go proceed in the middle of their lap. Could that be it? Nope. How about this one? Well, I'll have to take a good eyes on the 4th position just in case if I had to be in lap number 3 to be in the middle or in lap number 4. Okay, there it is, and right at the spot to go here after exiting on turn 4. So I got the thumbnail image to be wait and go for the captured. Just give me 2 Ferraris for the silver F12 Berlin Enta and 1 for the 812 Superfast. Okay, switching up and reinforce it if I have to get closer nearby. Dang it, close enough. Now I'll have to try this again and give that perspective. Alright, that's like, just like that. Okay, just like that, and give a little bit more slow motion. That should do enough, and there you go. Second car test for the replay, and one race is very good to be indeed. But speaking of which, I really hope I'll have to give a good try on the Suzuki Carry KC 2012 by having two of them with wide body and non-wide body kit. Will give a comparison, as I still perfectly to give a good testing ground on Autodrome Lago Maggiore to be on the main course, will be session to go in the East End or the West End. Or how about heading up to Asia Oceania, which is very going probing grounds, as I'm about to go and see how the Carry KC 2012 will be proceed to Tsukuba Circuit, will go on probing grounds. Got to go on time trial, full course, and daytime to be in 1500 hours, and see how the first hands-on impression for car test number 3 will go by two different versions, with the standard and the wide body version is now outfit to give a good differences between Japanese K trucks. Just like Japanese K cars as a civilian transportation, and first time ever to see the K truck is about to go serving up for utility transportation to go around on the course. Temperature today is 78.8 degrees Fahrenheit in spring season, but hopefully summer season is coming until mid-June. I'll have to take a good look on the detailed settings, and the engine model is the K6A Carry is quite very brilliant to have a different engine model to be placed up in the front. Different performance and outfit to be stayed by a comfort medium compound tires has now been set by default. And how about, as I just purchased for the Comfort Soft tires earlier, as I really think about participate in the lightweight K Cup because of the performance point to go overpowered by reaching up the limit towards 400. And that brings out to have the original performance point in 233.26 is now been stationed by default, and however, calculate into 260.98 is going to be having some suggested part and well preferred to have a horsepower by 47. That's why all the engine tuning is now eligible, including 3 stages of bodywork is quite very good, challenging, and have the differences between the wide body or the non-wide body of the Suzuki Carry KC 2012 is the first ever K truck to be welcomed to Gran Turismo 7. So let's give this one good K truck a try. First up, non-wide body specific on the Carry KC is about to go in session 1. The sound of the engine is very more quite good to be using on the transportation to go anywhere in Japan, just like semi-trucks in America, and different look on European semi-trucks is giving a characteristic for having a transportation for use. And even for this K truck, that features to have a good look onto this interior view to be using on the right hand side for the driver, and the second seat that uses for as a passenger. But on the third person view, it actually to be using to carry goods to be transferred around in different places all across in Japan, and adding up to have the transportation box and the ramen stand, which is very well used to be attracting to customers. But I kind of like about having two different options on the rear is quite interesting, and more likely to be quite brilliant to be using in the transportation to be attracted to customers when using on Type B in the rear. But this one is the full stock on standard one that can actually to be carried out to have a number of people if you're about to be travel around to go anywhere. The handling looks good, the comfort tires is well placed up to go inside, and the steering just going lighter up and feel the line to go respond if you're about to have some parts will be increased and go adjusted by under 400 performance points. For this style, this looks well default and quite good to see the single K truck is quite good to be driving on the course to be doing one good example, and the second one which is very well competitive to be designed for racing if there will be having a one-man category to be prior to the special event. But instead, I'll have to take this one to go for 2 laps and have the out lap to go faster lap to be proceed into the second lap by a minute 25.106 seconds. Let's make that first turn to go in, faster up, and gap distance to be proceed to have a main length in 0.1 seconds on the minus. Turn 2 is clear. Now second hairpin to go lighter up and make that brake to go fast as the turns will feel opening. Coming around to have the next turn before the second sector is now been proceed. going past through by the Dunlop sign. Main corner on the left and wide open is going clear on the asphalt before the third hairpin is coming in right at the spot. Braking check is good. Handling is full motion to go wide open to be on the inside on the apexes to go entered and the exit to be placed up on the left side of the track. But this transportation cake truck is very more remarkable to be indeed to get faster to be using on the comfort soft tires if you're about to be participate to Argent Norwood in lightweight K Cup. But many details and opportunities to see this good kind of a car is going to be lighter, faster, and taking on with Daihatsu, Suzuki, and Honda K cars just like the Copen, Honda S660, Honda Beat, and Cappuccino along with the Jeepney XC 2018. But one K car to go additional and suggestions they will be having another kind of a K car in the later future for the Mazda AutoSam AC1. But I shall see soon enough, and more cars will have to wait sooner or later by every month for the next upcoming latest update. So 2 laps should do enough, and there's my current faster lap time by a minute, 24.178 seconds. That should do by taking a total time in 3 minutes, and that brings out to go for tally up results as the first section is about to go highlight in the green in sector 2 and 3. There's 38.664 seconds, and sector 3 13.750 seconds along with the first sector earlier in the third lap by 31.328 seconds. Let's have a good content replay and switch up to have a nice good look on the view, and time lapse will have to go for a short period on playback position. Got to go in 10 seconds early and proceed to the next lap. And go right in to have the next lap in number 2. Okay, there's a spot right here, and give this one for a capture image and make it one save replay. So there you go, that's one down, and second K truck will go with a wide body specific will be compared by the difference. So let's switch carry KC and make it like a wide body competition K truck will be full race ready. With this kind of a wide body version for the Suzuki Carry KC is now becoming as a racing K truck, just like the similar to the FIA European Truck Racing Championship, but I never watched this kind of a different racing series that related to trucks are now becoming as racing spec version to be participate to the track. But it actually does to have a good plan of idea for this Japanese K truck is bearing up to have a good same energy before entered on the track. But I bet every Gran Turismo player loves it, and this kind is a good full potential spec to be outfit to give some good full spec modification, and even yet, just only have one racing compound tires if it's going to be turns out to be a much more similar look and comparison between the European truck cars and Japanese K cars by the shapes and the sizes. So this was to give a good feel taste of the handling, respond, and competitive focus as the comfort medium tires to go for a station in the first lap on preparation warm-up. This was to do the same pattern just like the non-wide body specific after the first test. Now this was to go for a second test as I'm about to go in at the third hairpin to give a good feel taste of the line. Going exit and stay on the left side of the track will go in formation. But I'm very sure about this good modified K truck is quite perfectly to be serving to go for the one-man category if you're about to be using in custom race by using GT Soapy 2.1. But it's all about give that opportunity. We'll be field the test and see how it turns out to give a differences between the normal and GT Soapy when you're using for the K truck to be in the one-man category. First lap clear and going in to take lap number 2. But almost forget one thing to have the ghost lap. Just had to get things to go rolling up and feel the racing line will go freestyle of the handling. Gap distance is going in. Got to take the second hairpin and feel the acceleration to go around on hairpin 2. First sector clear. Now take the right without braking to be step up the apex, as the competition K-Truck is still testing in progress. So I really bet if the FIA really want to see the Japanese K-Cup is about to go for only one semi-truck to be participate to see how it turns out to go for only one Suzuki Carry KC is now suitable to go for the 1-man category with some different set of livery specific. But maybe I'll have to think about it. Having my own kind of a UDRS Inspotech livery like this one is the good base example to have some different custom part customization that turns out to give a good differences just like all the different European race trucks. But this might be the first time ever that I just dropping with a single kind of a Japanese K-Truck to go on the track. So there you go. Limitation is all set and 2 laps is well done to be cleared by differences to go for a compare. So that's it for only one good 2-part for only one single K-Cup on the Suzuki Carry KC. Exit and take a good look for the second best lap time by a minute 25.542 seconds. As for 3 sectors to be checked, highlight mark on the green in lap number 2 by sector 1 in 32.203 seconds, sector 2 in 39.531 seconds, and last but not least, 13.808 seconds in sector 3. Now for the second capture thumbnail image on the replay, just go on the front view and take place to go around onto the final corner. But man, this K-Truck is very more interesting to have a good different modification in case that if you're about to be using on the dangerous side to be well placed up to be on the front and especially to go place up on the side in the rear. But almost forget one thing to have closer up to have that front view. Just stop right here and give that slow effect to go scene by scene. Perfect, and there you go. It was a lot of fun out there to try out with 2 different versions on Suzuki Carry KC. Is the first ever Japanese K-car is well featured to be tested out and give a good impression to have some different customization option. Now on to the last vehicle for car test number 4. I'll have to use and try out with the Honda CR-V eHEV X Black Edition 2021. That brings out to give a good all-wheel drive hybrid naturally aspirated and is heading up to Tokyo Expressway. We'll be choosing on 3 different districts. And plus, almost forgot one thing to be tested out to have some 2K cars with different versions but the same model, 12.1 miles because of my free time, and make it update into 58.8 miles. Alright folks, let's go to the Central District in Sunny Cup, 2 laps, and give a good look on the performance. We'll be on the detailed settings as the comfort medium tires is about to be set to go on default. So the engine model for the CR-V is the LFB. That brings out to give a good detailed performance and have some few parts including with 3 stages of weight reduction because of the hybrid all-wheel drive layout because of the Okay, next take, rolling, and action. Alright folks, let's go to the Central District in Sunny Cup. We'll be prepared to go basic in 2 laps. We'll field the test for the all-wheel drive in the hybrid naturally aspirated. As for the detailed settings, the engine model known as the LFB for the CR-V for having one good crossover SUV that features to go up in 181 horsepower to be embraced to go for the top speed, which is going to have to be carried over by over 125 miles per hour. But no engine tuning to be updated, and also to bring out to have 3 stages of weight reduction to go increase and have 1 part for the ECU to be placed up to go increase for adding up by another horsepower. This was to do very tested and go hybrid and drive mode. We'll go cruising on the lap time. By any means about station wagons and 4x4 SUV, this will give the CR-V will go motion to be drive mode, just like you're about to be driving on the Toyota C-HRS and Toyota Prius G, along with the Toyota Aqua S 2011. So this will have to go perfectly, and Get Myself will be on the starting grid to be placed in number 12. Let's go for the ride, and rolling start will be commenced the countdown in about 3, 2, 1, and we're off. Going faster in drive mode for the Honda CR-V will be get prepared to be lined up in overtake, as the battery mode will be set to go full acceleration, along with some few turns will go seconds on the recharge. With this kind of a handling that bears out with a similar like the Mazda CX-30 X Smart Edition 2021 as a Japanese model to be using on the right hand side, with this CR-V, it also does have the same kind of the interior view treatment and different look on the dashboard, as the kilometers to go up in about 140 kilometers, as the top speed to go almost into 90 miles per hour. Looks so good, handling is quite good to be respond, and heavy to go lighter up and feel the line when it comes to go travel around in the road, in the town, country, and the cities. But this one is the good best courses as the example when it comes to have the challenges to face up with some few other Japanese compact cars like the Toyota Prius G, Aqua S, Honda Fit Hybrid, and for the C-HRS 2018. Dive down below, and moving up to go forward to have the last 5 remaining drivers, as Jade Gordon is currently to be in the 5th position with a Honda Fit Hybrid 2014. Got to slow down and left side on the road, overtake clear, and getting closer to have the last remaining 3 drivers, as Maloney in the Mazda Atenza Sedan 2015 is in the lead. Just have to be very extra careful. 2 Toyota Prius G is very challenging when it comes in before it proceeds to the final lap. Works so well to be driving in hybrid, and drive mode is well suitable to give one transmission to go gear. But that would be possible if a hybrid vehicle that brings out to have a potential will give an engine swap, because this might need to take time and see how it turns out to give a prediction. If hybrid vehicles with transmission gear to go in one gear mode, that would be quite possible to see if there will be some swap engines will be give a good sense of experience to see how it turns out. But the answer says we'll have to find out soon enough if hypercars might need to have a swap engine will give the excellent opportunity of choice. But maybe perhaps for the Honda CR-V, this 4x4 crossover SUV is a good example as a road car before becoming as a time attack vehicle like the Suzuki B6 Escudo Pikes Peak Special 1998 and Hyundai Ioniq Q5N 2024 to have a different role as a time attack vehicle with a different set of custom modifications. But that brings out to have a good choice to see this wide body modification when using the CR-V is a good 4x4 SUV to take it to the track to go on the dirt and snow courses is the best example. So it's getting closer to be driving on an urban course. There's T. Maloney in the Mazda Atenza Sedan 2015. Got to get behind him and wait until the opening, as I'm about to go quicker up as the final sector to go in, and lighter up to go braking respawn. Alright, that's the ticket. CR-V is in the lead. Now going braking zone to be a short second on recharge the battery, is about to go decrease to go well worn out soon. Got to go deacceleration and take seconds of recharge and go again to be faster to give a boost. Here comes the checker flag, and there you go. Now that's a good kind of a crossover SUV to take it to the track in Sunny Cup to be serving to go additional if you are about to be finishing up to go for the weekly challenges. First place and much more appraisal to have the 4 car will give a 5-star and 10 out of 10. But I almost forgot one thing to have the previous 3 cars on the Chevy Corvette Z06 C5 2001, Ferrari 812 Superfast 2017, and Suzuki Carry KC 2012 will give a consider to have a 10 out of 10 and 5-star rating. but I still almost forgot one thing to have my own role as the car appraisal for this month update, and results for having car test number 4 in Sunny Cup in Tokyo Expressway central clockwise, 3 minutes 50.292 seconds, and faster lap time when using the CR-V HGB EX Black Edition 2021 in 1 minute 52.754 seconds. Well, I can't think about this crossover SUV. It turns out to go drive, safe, and normal to go explore around in the city and country to be having a good explore around the travel. So that's 40,500 GT credit, and last but not least, one content replay will have to go for a playback position to go call out, as I just might need to have some management before proceed to the WTC 700 at Red Bull Ring. Got to go rewind in 10 seconds. And here comes the main scene right over here. Just have to get close in and slower enough on the CR-V. Alright, there we go. And one good enough on the thumbnail image if I had to go on the front view with the second car as I need. And there's the spot right over here. Okay, a little bit less blurry, so I'll have to give this one and make that thumbnail image to be update. So perfect, and one last content replay for the save, and going right back to the GT garage, we'll have to take a good look on 4 vehicles as I'm about to have a good check on car collection index. So I got 25 cars are about to be checked and have a good look for inspection to be reviewed. Well, I still have to be patient to have the last car, as the total of cars will be collected by 5:33. So let's have a good check and go pick by pick if I had to be choosing by having a right pick of the Ferrari vehicle, as I have the good eyes on the 812 Superfast. So there it is right now, right next to the ISO Robito Zagato Vision GT. Adopting the classic B12 FR layout, this Ferrari possesses remarkable performance while retaining practically. Came from the legendary 500 Superfast of 1964. Now this is a very good historical information about the 812 Superfast is based up from the legendary back from the 1960s. With its 7-speed dual clutch Adopting the classic B12 layout, this Ferrari possesses remarkable performance while retaining practically. Came from the legendary 500 Superfast of 1964 according to the description. But man, this is very nice, historical, and modern day hypercar to see this 812 Superfast that features a 7-speed dual clutch transaxle transmission, also marked as a technological milestone to be as the first Ferrari to be featured in electric power steering. With usable cargo space behind the seats and generously sized rear luggage area, the 812 Superfast offered grand touring capabilities wrapped in a pure supercar body just like the F12 Berlin Enta. Trupo and much more high-performance successor to see this good kind of a chassis formation will give a good stage of evolution. Now for the Suzuki Carry KC 2012. A quintessential example of the microtruck trend that has become a hint all over the world. Input structure that have a good role of supporting vehicle for the Suzuki Carry KC to be using to carry goods and transportation all over the world, especially Japan that introduced in 1961. The Carry boasts a long and storied history until the 10th generation was introduced in 1999 by following a full model change to comply with a revised K-car regulation introduced the previous year. The model shown here is from 2012, marking the final iteration of the 10th generation model. With all the details, folks, and that's why this Suzuki Carry KC is now becoming as an all-time hit all over the world. Now this is going to be quite good to see a first-kind K-car to be racing up and go on the track for the first time ever, along with the Honda CR-V HGB EX Black Edition 2021. The 5th generation model of this popular SUV is the first to feature a hybrid system. Remarkable and coining the term as creating movers for having a new category for Honda. just like the Accord, Odyssey, and for the CR-V that features for the EHEB X Black Edition 2021 is now quite good to have a good kind of a crossover SUV to have a good type of the road car and hybrid vehicle. And last but not least, to go down to America, got to scroll down and have a good eyesight on the 5th generation Corvette Z06 2001. The top of the line variant of the 5th generation Corvette revives the classic Z06 moniker. Good to have you on board 5th generation Corvette Z06, and this is what I ever think of by having one good true predicted thought if the Corvette Z06 C5 is now coming to Gran Turismo 7. Thank you Kasunori Yamaguchi, thank you Polypody Digital, and thank you PlayStation to have this good kind of a 21st century sports car is about to be ready up, go entered, and proceed to the weekly challenges for the first round in Grand Valley Highway 1 for the Chevy Corvette 1-man category to go for a festival of speed. So folks, what do you think about the best content update for May 2025 on Gran Turismo 7? I kind of love about the Chevy Corvette Z06 5th generation 2001 is a good perfect example to be purchasable in used car dealership and Brand Central, which is I had to take a first hands-on impression. The call divs will be going lap time challenge at Dragon Trail Seaside after the Corvette CR-1 4th generation 1989. But it turns out my thought would be very awesome and quite very impressed about there to give a good sound of the BA engine to see a single sports car will be taking on with the Dodge Viper GTS on the track. And for the second one, the Ferrari 812 Superfast is a good potential for a road-going hypercar as a true successor to the F12 Berlin Enta 2012. Just only have a comparison like all the other racing games and the open world just like the Crew 2 and Motorfest. But after all, 812 Superfast and GT7 is quite perfectly and embrace it to give a good track-focused hypercar to be participate to be entered on various courses on Hypercar Parade. The third one, Suzuki Carry KC 2012 that brings out to have two different variants when testing out in Tsukuba Circuit for the widebody and non-widebody specific. Well, I kind of think about the Type B option on the rear, which is interesting. I rather think about having a Type B option for the non-widebody specific on the Carry KC to have my own kind of a mobile themed fast food restaurant. But that would be quite very good to have some customers to be attracted when it comes to have some food themed business to go for making up with some money. I really think about it, but I just really might need to get my subscribers to go up to 1,000 is going to be my last stand, and I'm currently at is 947. But after all, I still have a lot of way to go and have some more excellent opportunities for having 4 cars will give a good detail on the tension for the update. And almost forgot last but not least, the Honda CR-V EHEB EX Black Edition 2021. This 4x4 crossover SUV that features with a hybrid powertrain system for the all-wheel drive. Now this is going to be quite very interesting and turns out to have a nice detailed look and customization options to put this one by having a different version to go in a rally car or make it like a rally SUV that serves up to go in off-road areas and especially to go for the time attack version to be using on Type A and adding up for the rear wing spoiler to go into Type B. But the big wing spoiler is quite very awesome and I never see this kind of a crossover SUV is going to be taking on in Pikes Peak International Hill Climb. Well, maybe perhaps this SUV is very much more quite good to be awesome to have some exterior parts to go for the wide body kit to be installed. But only have one vehicle with a hybrid system to be set in drive mode without having one transmission gear to be featured when it comes to have a good excellent opportunity to have a different kind of a variant. But hybrid powertrain is what we have to do and only have one part to be adjusted to go around by under 200 horsepower we'll be using on full control computer and adds up with 3 stages of weight reduction will be turns out and give this kind of a crossover SUV to becoming as a rally vehicle or make it like a time attack vehicle to be serving up to go for having with some different custom parts to be modified and give the big wing spoiler to be on Type B. But very glad And I can't wait until May Weekly Challenge number 3 will be coming up until tomorrow Friday, as I'm about to wrap it up before at the end of the current video. But I can't wait for my YouTube channel will be going up into 1000 because I still have 53 left to go before reaching up towards 1000, as the full walkthrough will always have to keep continuing on by focusing with 3 races on Sunday Cup and Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, Japanese FF Challenge 450 at Tokyo Expressway Central counterclockwise, and European Clubman Cup 600 at Deep Forest Raceway reverse direction, due to the 3 events to go for the latest as brand new, so I'll have to do my best, and the tagline itself for the motto, having new content videos takes a long time by doing hard work. But I still have to get there and help me out any way I can, so I had to do my best after finishing up to have all the extra menus on the GT Cafe is now been set, and go forward we'll be continue on. And one more thing for all Gran Turismo players on PlayStation 5, good luck out there, and remember, race well when you're on Gran Turismo Soapy by the normal and custom race and see how it turns out to give your best moments. Thank you for enjoying watching the video on Gran Turismo 7. I hope you enjoyed. Go subscribe to my YouTube channel for a like, comment, then click the bell for notification on upcoming content videos if you'd like to see. Follow me on DeviantArt, Instagram, Twitter, GTPlanet, Patreon, Discord, and more social media platforms. Plus, membership is now open to everyone who will join to get access for price levels a month with exclusive perks, custom emoji with my OCs, and many features to support the channel. It's the best way to help out with super things as an extra will support and grow. I'll be see you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I'll be see you guys next time on Gran Turismo 7, and I look forward to see you again at the next video. Keep on racing, stay clean.